Welcome to HDPP Live on a Saturday night to the UK and around the world with photos, memories and friends. This is HDPP Live. How are you this evening? Are you all well?
Hinckley history, past and present for you, meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too, with founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Film clips, photos, memories and friends helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's six of the best, stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. HDPP, where local memories survive. HDPP, you there. We're making history. HDPP, chat room applauses. History supporting local causes. Streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest honey candy. Dangerous Den here again. HDPP live. Hey, you know we keep it in HDPP.
Oh, look out, the man's here again. Here he is. Oh, hello. Good evening. How are you? Oh, and I know I've got a little echo, and I know what that is, my word. You'll have to excuse me a moment while I shut him up. Hello. How are you? Good evening. Welcome to HDPP Live on a Sunday evening. I finally got here. I just got bogged down with some little bits we had to get ready before we started tonight. Welcome to HDPP Live from the middle of a good old Blighty, here in the middle of England, the heart of the country, and is Hinckley. You can't beat a bit of Hinckley, can you? And I'm delighted. So many people in the chat room already. Look at this lot here in the chat room. David Stamborough saying, good evening, Paul, and congratulations, Sue and yourself on your wedding anniversary. Yeah, thank you. We had a lovely day, actually. Mrs. G took me out for lunch next day. Yeah, it was very good. I'm still paying for it. However, I've also want to welcome Annabelle. She's here with a big cooey. Now, for those that might be here new watching this evening, a cooey is what we do in Hinckley when you're going down the street. Oh, cooey! Oh, I want your attention. You see, that's how it works. So a big cooey from Annabelle. Anne Hunt's here. Hello, Anne. Lovely Anne. David Allen from Boston in Lincolnshire. Here as always. And Dave B. I'm on one screen. He later upgrades to two screens tonight, you know. So there we go. Queen Bee is here as well. So nice to know that you're there, Queen Bee, and I hope you've got your thinking head on today. We've got a great six of the best coming your way in a few moments' time. Now then, let's see who else is in there. Dennis, Dangerous But Den, he's here again. Thank you, Perkins, for yesterday, for taking Sue and myself to the scanning session at Hinckley. We had a busy day. In fact, not so much in the lots of images. We managed to put two families together that were related. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Now, that's good, doing good work. That's doing good work. I'll tell you about that in a few moments' time. Yes, Daniel Coburn's here as well. We remember him. Thank you, Daniel. Glad you've joined us as well. And David Allen wishing us happy anniversary. My word, it all seems like ages ago now. Jeff Wallace is here. Yes, he's in North Lincolnshire. And Anna watching in Hinckley. So she can't chat on here. Good, we can talk about it, and she can't answer back. No, you'll probably need her help with six of the best tonight. Good evening to David S., who is here, as usual, up there on Air 5 somewhere he is. Nice to know that you're with us again, David. And let's see, anybody else I've missed besides Annabelle being here? Russett's here. Oh, hello, Russett. Somebody else up A5. So that's good. Carol Beasley's here. Hello, Carol. Home from my travels. Oh, hope you've been somewhere nice. Mary Blake's here. She surprises me. Mary, it was lovely to see you yesterday. And I'll be on. Hands up. I think she's got fed up with the live streams and she doesn't bother anymore. But she said, no, she's doing different things on a Sunday night, so she tends to watch on catch-up. But tonight, she's here. Bless her cotton socks. Brilliant. And the crops are in. Look, it's not even September and the crop's in. Hi, Kev. Yes, so there. We've got Kevin Beasley here as well. Kay Norton's here. Well done. And Gary Betterley. Bonjour. There you are. That's the sum of my French. So that's good. I'm not complaining. I'll also say hello to Kit. She's here. How do, she says. Right, lovely. So that's just, I like to try and welcome everybody. I like to welcome everybody into this room when we start. In tonight's programme, not only have we got six of the best, not only have we got a nose there, not only are we going around Hinckley into how it looked in 2001. We've seen it before, but I'm showing it again because wow, the town has come on. And it's amazing how you forget how sort of drab Hinckley was looking some 20 odd years ago. Trust me, you'll see the differences. We might say, oh, it's a dump, which is what you get from most negativities of people. But no, you look and compare it with what we've got today, we're doing all right. And I've got a very special feature this evening. I'm going to introduce you to a young lady who was actually, she's back now. She's been doing this travelling. Listen, this young lady, she's been to Pakistan on her own. She's backpacked and travelled all over, working with various mountain groups and stuff, honestly. And it's not your average. It's not your average adventure. Now, I'm going to show the film shortly. In fact, I'm going to show the first 15 minutes of it. And then if you want to watch the rest, I'm putting a link up so you can see what it's all about. Her name is Azra Hussain, and Azra came to me when I was doing hospital radio in Hinckley, and she was a natural. And why this young lady is not yet on your big TV screens at home, I shall never know. And you'll see why when we show the first sort of 15 minutes of her video this evening. But before we do all that, I know it's all good stuff. Before we do all that, I must do you with 6 of the best, as well as tell you about some of our other things that HDPP are up to in the coming weeks. For example, social night next week at the Greyhound. Here we are. We've got to stop the Asian Hornets because they are trying to take over. They are a pest to our native hornets and bees and stuff. So a short talk from Dale, who's going to tell us what to do when we see one and reporting it. And this is very important, folks. And then I shall follow through with a local film show on the night. I hope you can join us. It's going to be a super night. Now, I don't want to be accused of not giving you plenty of advance notice. So our sing-along back in St Mary's Church like we did last September. It was September when we did our last one, you know. Well, we finally set a date for Sunday, June the 16th. Once again, old school assembly hymns and songs. We've got a great set list, as they would say if you're hip. Get on with it, it's a list. And we've got some great old school hymns to sing along on that afternoon. It's free. Come along, enjoy yourself. Look, there's tea and coffee and cake on, so I mean, it's got to be worth it, isn't it? Come along on that night too. We would love to. We'd love to see you there. And also a reminder of what Hinckley and District Museum are doing very soon. Look, this is coming up. This is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Leslie Smith as Elizabeth I. Now, I know of this lady. She's brilliant. And you're supporting the museum by going to see it. It's only £10. And let's face it, a chance to see Elizabeth I. This is great stuff. It's at the Mary Florian Centre. There's the details on there. And, of course, full details are on HDPP as well as the Hinckley and District Museum website. Good. There we go. Lovely. Anne Hunt says, I'm going to be there in June. I know, Anne, I would expect you to be right at the front. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that at St Mary's Church again. It's going to be really, really good. Let me also remind you, by this time next week, I should have a date for the next disco. We're going to do another oldies disco again. It's going to be October. Definitely that. I'm just whittling down which date in October. It'll be a Saturday night. So I'm telling you now, if you didn't come to the last one, you missed a stomper. You missed a stomper. You want to come. They're just great fun. Even Dangerous Dan said, I was wondering whether I should... Dan, get them platforms on. Come and enjoy yourself. It's going to be really, really good in October. But we will announce a date soon as we have got one. Our night at the museum, by the way, and I'm getting through this as quick as I can. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wait a minute. I did have one for a night at the museum somewhere. I don't know where that's gone at the moment. But trust me, our night at Hinckley and District Museum on the 10th of July... interest is very good. You need to let me know that you're coming. Now, ideally, send me an email or a quick message because already the places are whittling down. The museum can take about 20, 25 people before it starts to get a little bit uncomfortable. And so they need to know how many packets of biscuits to buy for the night. So already, if you've already been in touch with me, I've had your message. Thank you. And I've put you on the list. That's going to be a great night. So it starts at 7 o'clock on the 10th of July because we are not meeting socially on that night. On that month. We won't be there because Sue and I will be jetting off. Jetting off. Only going skeggy. But still, we would very much, like you to come along into the museum night that night. As I say, we will not be meeting socially, have a social night that particular month. Okay, good. Jan's asking for custard creams. Right, now listen, I'm going to move on because we've got a lot to get through tonight and I'm doing far too much chatting as it is. So, first, 6 of the best. I know this is what you all live for every week. Some stinkers tonight, and I don't think, hang on just a minute, hang on. I don't think Mr. Nose is in. I don't think so. So, let's have a look at 6 of the best this evening. Question number 1. Okay, I've pressed the wrong button here because you got the chat there, but it doesn't matter. And the question number 1, I'm asking, who was officially, that should be officially, the last Lord Mayor, the last Lord of the Manor in Hinckley? Who was that? That was the name of the person who was the last Lord of the Manor in Hinckley. Yes, interesting. We have spoke about this many times, but do you know? So I want to know. What was the name of the last official Lord of the Manor here in Hinckley? Okay, let's just get let's just switch this screen a bit there. Right, now, he's all over the place tonight. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Thank you. Now it's nice and big for you. See, good. Right, so that is your phone. So who was the last official Lord Mayor? Lord of the Manor. We've never had a Lord Mayor. Just a minute. I'm just going to have a drink. I feel like I need a double shot. Better. Right, so you know where. Okay, that's question 1. Moving on now to question number 2. Question 2. Now, this is a good question. What links the Titanic, Abraham Lincoln, and the blaze of Notre Dame Cathedral? Believe it or not, there is a link. And I thought, hey, that's a good question for our general knowledge. So, there you go. What links the Titanic, Abraham Lincoln, and the blaze of Notre Dame Cathedral? If you don't know, you're going to learn something tonight. That is question number 2. On to question number 3. There you go. That's our Find the Words question this week. Fill in those missing blanks and you will it's quite easy actually. You will find a TV series, what was a lovely little popular TV series, okay? I will be repeating these questions very quickly in just a few moments' time. So if you don't get all your dashes and dots in the right place, you'll be able to in a few moments' time. Okay, so that is question number 3. A much loved and much missed TV series, that was. Question number 4. Oh, well, blimey, I've got to click another button over here. Question number 4. And which one? I'm gonna go with this one. No, I don't know which one to play now because I've got any old one. I'm gonna go with this one. Here we go. What was this theme tune to? Remember it so well? It was called Sleepy Shores, yeah. But what was the TV theme? What's the TV theme? Oh! Okay, that's enough of that. So that's that one. Okay, then. Good evening to Judy Peatfield, by the way. Nice to know that you're here with us this evening. I want you to name these two faces from TV and the cinema, mainly TV of the 50s and indeed through the 1980s was the gentleman on the left. But who are they? Who are those two gentlemen that you are looking at now? Yeah, that's a good one, Paul. I was quite pleased with that one myself. We will give you the answer a little bit later on. And on to our ever popular 6 of the best anagram question. There you go. Aaron, contrabandist hypotheses. You try saying that when you've had a few pints. If you rearrange that, you will get a local location and a story. Now, we've had this before, but I've just used brand new things, okay? I just jiggled it around again. Aaron, contrabandist hypotheses. It's a local location and a story. If you rearrange that, you'll come straight back to Hinckley. Okay, right, I'm going to go through these questions one more time. Are we ready? So, here we go. Question 1. Who was the official last Lord of the Manor in Hinckley? You should know this. If you don't, we're going to have a detention class tonight for those of you that don't get it because you've not been paying attention. Okay. Question 2. What links the Titanic, Abraham Lincoln, and the blaze of Notre Dame Cathedral? Something links them all together, and you'll say, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Oh, wow." That is your question 2. Question 3. A lovely TV series this was. Fill in those blanks. It is easy. It is easy tonight. It's a much missed but lovely TV series, which I've really got into, actually, which is unusual for me because I don't do much TV. That was good. Okay. Lovely. Right, so that's what that one is. Question number 4. I want you to guess the old theme tune. Well, you all know the theme tune, but what was it? What TV program was it to? Oh, yeah. Get ready for the strings in the background. Here we go. Da, da, da. And it was in the charts, believe it or not. It made the charts. Okay, question 5. I'm flogging you all tonight. These 2 famous faces that was on our TV screens, one in the 80s and some in the 50s and 60s. Who are they? Yeah. Just leave that pause there for a moment. And finally, the anagram question. Aaron Contrabandist hypotheses. This is a local location and a story. Good. Lovely. So, there you go. We'll be repeating that throughout the programme this evening. Okay. And there's plenty of people in the chat room saying how much, they're enjoying various things of this programme, which is very, very nice. Oh, David S. said 2 tickets for the museum night. Yeah, okay, David. Seen that. I'll put you on the list. Okay, then. That's lovely. They are going quick tonight. Seriously, they are. I'll better just do that now. So, David, here we go. I thought, but if I don't do this now, David S times 2. Lovely. Okay. Then all them places will soon be gone now. Okay, then. Now, I was telling you earlier on, I'm going to introduce you to a Hinckley girl tonight. Her name is Azra Hussain. And as I say, I know her from Castlemead Radio, and she's gone on to do lots of things here and there. But she's a real explorer. Talk about Dora the Explorer, Azra. Good grief. And she's been on such an adventure. So I'm going to feature the first 15 minutes of her video, because each week she's going to release another episode, as it were. So what you're going to see is like an introduction to a series of videos that she's going to release on YouTube over the coming weeks and months, etc. Azra, she's amazing. She goes off and she never ceases to amaze me. And you'll see by the end you've watched this sort of 15 minutes worth, you'll think, why this young lady on the TV? Well, we can say I'm sure we'll be able to say we're going to help launch her TV career tonight. It'll be something like that. So anyway, I've got to make sure I press this one. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Azra. She's a lovely lady. And wow, I just wish I got the courage to do the things that she goes on to do. Because I don't do travelling very well, I must be honest. And when you're on your own, a young lady, as you will see. So for the next 15 minutes, sit back and enjoy a little bit of this Hinckley Girl's travels. Here we go.
Just my backpack and I for an entire year alone, in a country that I was forbidden to go to by everyone. A whole different world to what I'm used to. I was backpacking through military occupied regions, ex-Taliban areas, disputed territories and so much more. I lived in the Trans-Himalayas with mountain tribes, and then I flitted from tribe to tribe through other mountain ranges. experiences that I never in my wildest dreams imagined that this simple British countryside girl would ever encounter in her life.
Prince William and Kate Middleton sat right there and watched a Galasha performance over there.
Now, there's a lot of wealth in Pakistan. There are people that live extravagantly. However, that wasn't the world that I had gone out to explore. I wanted to be with people who lived and breathed the earth that they lived on. And that led me to some of the most remote and challenging areas.
Into the kitchen we go.
My living conditions were pretty extreme. Well, for me anyway. I was waking up early hours of the morning to collect water from the river with the women and then carried it on my head. Then I'd go off with the men to hunt and fish. The manual labour was insane. Everything has to be done by hand. Washing clothes, whether that be in the river or at home. Heating up the iron.
So they heat up coal, put it inside, close the lid, and then that's how they iron their clothes.
Something as simple as bathing was such a difficult task.
It's filled with water, okay, and this is what I'm going to be bathing with. And we've lit a fire.
On numerous occasions, we would run out of electricity or gas to heat up the water, or there was no wood. Which is why I only bathed something like once every 2 weeks. Or the water wasn't clean enough as it would flow from the glacier and it would be filled with grit. So yes, I was hardly bathing. I was working on the farm every single day, and everything from cutting the grass to ploughing is all done by hand. I even lived with a tribe where the young boys went out to catch fish with their bare hands.
This gentleman has got one fish inside his trousers, which is known as a sharad. He stuffed it in there, and now he's gone under the water in search for another fish. This is what we call fishing extreme, and the water is freezing cold, by the way.
I'd never seen anything like it.
He's brought it across. Hello.
And then I went to live with tribes at sea. It was my first time living without basic facilities such as running water, electricity, heated homes. During winter in the mountains, we would have electricity for 1 hour a day. Can you imagine having to charge everything, cook, clean, bathe the kids, heat the water, all just in 1 hour? Today we've had electricity for 15 minutes. Yesterday it was around 10 minutes. I lived in homes made out of stone and lived in homes made out of mud. And witnessed mountains and glaciers that I had never seen before. Those of you who follow my channel, you'll already know me as a mountains girl, and you'll probably be thinking, Asra, you're always in the mountains, but let me tell you, nothing like these. These were some of the most majestic magnitude of beauty that I've ever laid my eyes on. They were something else. I experienced extreme cold to a point that I was wearing a coat 24/7, even indoors, because the homes aren't heated. I would go to bed wearing a woolly hat and gloves. We would layer blankets upon blankets just to stay warm at night. It is minus 15 degrees here in the Outer Himalayas, but trust me, this is warm because it drops down to minus 20 in the winter. Living in extreme cold is quite the experience. So even things like battery life, everything just dies rapidly here, and we have anywhere from between 15 minutes to 45 minutes a day of electricity to charge everything. My laptop doesn't even turn on in the mountains. This happens to me every single time. And then as soon as I go from the mountains down to sea level, guess what? It starts turning on again. And summer was the polar opposite. I experienced such intense heat, as though it was a blanket, this suffocating blanket of heat. I would sleep outside in the night and just sweat through the night. And as you can imagine, me and my sweet blood, I was just being attacked by mosquitoes all night. Now, all I've ever known to life is England. So coming from a sheltered and privileged background meant that living in such extreme conditions was incredibly tough for me. I was having breakdowns, multiple breakdowns. I would question myself that why on earth did I leave my perfectly perfect life in England to come to this? To live in such harsh environments with strangers. I don't even know anyone here. They don't speak my language. What the hell is wrong with me? And it was incredibly lonely at many points. Everyone wondered what was keeping me there for so long and why I didn't just return home. The answer is simple. One word. People.
Look, there's my friend!
It's time to eat. The best part of Pakistan are the people.
Wow, you speak amazing English.
Very good, very funny.
How old are you?
72 running.
Oh, it's my favourite person!
The love, hospitality, how much I was careful throughout my trip. I was hosted by over 20 different families throughout the year, and this allowed me to live like a true local and get a real taster of what life was like on a day-to-day basis. Some areas were so remote that they had never seen a foreigner in their life. Although I am ethnically South Asian, they saw me as a complete and utter alien. There'd be groups of people coming throughout the day just to look at me. The food was so interesting because every region and every tribe have their own dishes. enjoyed getting stuck in with the cooking. The schools are just wait till you see the videos about the schools that I taught in. I visited and taught at multiple schools for tribes that live in the mountains and tribes that live at sea.
Hi. Very good. I'm really enjoying. Assalamu alaikum.
Can you understand my English? I'm going to be taking your English class today. Do you enjoy studying English?
Yes, I do enjoy English.
You do enjoy English? Okay, high five. I enjoy English too. Do you find English difficult or easy?
This is easy and hard.
English is easy and hard. Okay, G.
Welcome, most welcome to our school. Thank you to our class.
Thank you very, very much. How many countries there are in this world?
195.
195. Shall I round of applause? Can anybody guess where I've come from? Yes. America? Canada? No. UK, yeah. So I've come from England to Pakistan for the first time, and I'm really enjoying it here so far. My grandfather is from Pakistan. I even attended a tribal wedding where there were traditions that I had never heard of.
And as you can see, I'm just trying to give you a flavour of what these videos are going to be like from Azra. And I can see by your comments already. And please, Azra joined us in the chat room earlier. I'm sure she'd love to hear any feedback. And I think what really does stand out in that is the fact that to see that, Azra, you can see, young lady on her own, travelling to the farthest reach, really, and doing proper exploring and mixing with the locals and getting to know how they live and stuff. I think we have quite a sanitised tourism industry, really. When you think, when you go out there, of course, if you want to really explore and experience how people live once there, Azra she's living the dream as far as that goes. And she's chatting away now. And Azra's going to say she's with us. She'd be very pleased. Now, you can see now why I say I can't understand why Azra has not got her own program on one of the TV channels. I think she could do it. I don't doubt that for 1 minute. She's very knowledgeable. Later on, we hear her speaking some Urdu and stuff, and I'm just so natural with it. It's very few people who can be so natural, and Azra can do it. And I'll try not to. I don't want to embarrass her too much. But Azra, you deserve any acclaim that follows. I will urge people, please go along the address. If you go to YouTube and just type Azra Hussain, her channel will come up. And then, like I say, for the coming weeks, months, she's going to be posting, in-depth videos. That was just like a quick look at what she got up to. And Anne Hunt said, so looking forward to your YouTube channel, Azra. Yeah, and Azra, I'm getting shy now. Yeah, right. Azra came along to, quite by chance, to our last old school hymns and songs at St Mary's Church. And she brought a relative with her who happened to be Christian. And she fell in love with St Mary's Church. And I thought, and it was so beautiful to see Azra's relative coming into the church and being in awe of what she could see. So we can all learn from each other. And I thought that was absolutely wonderful. So subscribe to Azra's channel. You'll get to know her. So she's lived all her life in Hinckley. But look where she's gone and what she's done. Isn't that fantastic? Absolutely brilliant. Please keep chatting to her in the chat room. Meantime, I could sit here and watch it, and I've seen all that introduction because it lasts for 30 minutes. And the things she gets up to in that, go onto Azra's channel and have a look. And you say, look at this girl, she's from Hinckley. She's walked down Castle Street, but now she's walking round it. You know how it is. Fantastic. Well, yes. Oh, yes. As was saying, my auntie Rebecca was so impressed by Hinckley. Somebody that's come over to her. Isn't it brilliant? You know. Yes, maybe she'd like to come and do us a talk one night at one of our social nights. When she's in the country, that is. I'm sure she would love to show you some of the pictures and tell you some of the stories. And like I say, living like that really makes you appreciate. We've got electricity, running water, we've got the internet and all what we do. And you see how they're humbly living. But as was said, but some of them are really, they're so happy because they haven't got the pressures of probably all the pressures that we think are really hard going on us. Yeah. But anyway, plenty of chat going on in the chat room. Please keep talking to Azra because she'd love to talk to you. Trust me, she's that way. So that is brilliant. I'm moving on. 6 of the best. Let me go on to give you the questions one more time. I want you to tell me who was the official last Lord of the Manor in Hinckley. Now, Daniel Coburn, you said, where was the Manor House? We all know the Manor House. It's where the old police station now stands. It used to stand there. It was standing until the 1930s, my friend. So who was the last official Lord of the Manor in Hinckley? Really easy, that one, I'd say. But however, let's move on. Question 2. This is a good one. I wonder if anyone's got this yet. What links the Titanic, Abraham Lincoln, and the blaze of Notre Dame Cathedral? There's something links them. Trust me, there does. And you go, oh, I didn't know that. Right then, find the words to this very popular TV programme. It used to be on a few years ago now. I liked it. I thought it was really, really nice Sunday night viewing, actually. I wish they'd bring it back because I think it was great. So that's what that is. It's a TV programme of, I know, probably about 10 years ago, probably a tad more now. Really popular. Okay then, so guess the theme tune. Oh, we can guess that, can't we? Can we guess that? Yes. I nearly gave the answer then, nearly. The theme tune, of course, was Sleepy Shores. But what was the actual, what was the programme it was to? So there we go. What a lovely bit of music. Moving on to question number 5. Who are these two gentlemen? Once graced our TV screens many years ago. I want their names, please. There we go. You see, I like both these gentlemen. But can you remember their names? Oh, come on. It is. It's good. They're just talking about, by the way, Mr. Smuggley in the chat room. They said, is Mr. Smuggley in the chat room? We said, no, says Anne. And Daniel Coburn says, yes, he's doing his book, of course. Of course he is. Yeah, right. Here's your anagram question tonight. Aaron, contrabandist. Hypotheses. This is a local location and story. There's a story beyond the location of what we're trying to find. Okay, good. Anne Hunt says, I am really looking forward to John's book. I'm saying nothing. I've even petitioned his daughter today in Lidl. Didn't I, Mrs. G? Yes, I did. And she just, oh yeah. Anyway, we move on. Back to Hinckley. Back in 2001. Now, like I said earlier on, the thing what I noticed, also I've shown you this before, but I'll show it again. The thing I noticed about this was when you see how the town is today to what it was then, you think, ooh, yeah, look at this. See what you think. I think this video lasts me. Well, I've got a running time here on this one somewhere. Oh yes, 13 minutes worth of Old Hinckley in 2001. So what we ask you to do is just look and see of the changes that have taken place since this video was taken a mere just over 23 years ago. And there is quite a lot to see as the camera goes about. So we're starting in Druid Street and Well Lane. Look, the buildings that stand here now at the bottom of Well Lane and in Upper Bond Street. This is before they were built to what we see today. The garage on the corner. Long since gone. So Well Lane, and then the old steam bakery, which has now been lovingly restored into functional use by G. Seller and Co. So along Druid Street, of course, Moore and Osborne's or Small Shaw's, but look, the factory units are still standing. Look at the side of the office block there. The office block that you're looking at now still stands today. It's recently had a paint job. I'm not sure whether that's officially how they should have done it, but there it is. But there is the rest of the factory, look, that existed around it. Small Shaw's, Moore and Osborne's, way back in the town. Now, Lily's Yard. Today, Lily's Yard is absolutely fantastic. Next time you're in this part of Upper Stockwell Head, have a look and see how much they've done to make Lily's Yard so much more attractive than what you see in these videos. Meanwhile, the Wesleyan Chapel there, that has also been changed somewhat. Got a new frontage on now and is now a place of worship once again. Eel's Yard as well, another yard that's been tidied up somewhat, nowhere near as much as what Lily's Yard has. And this is on the church of the chapel, John Wesley, who preached there in 1783. As I say, today this has been renovated and it's once again from a photographer's workshop and studio. It's being now used as a place of worship, and it looks so much better. It really is looking good, if I say so myself. So look at the changes down in Castle Street, as you can see. So obviously some of the shops that are no longer there, I can see Henry Clark's shop down there, I can see Dunelm, and the different shop frontage is indeed to the Hinckley Rugby Building Society. And what was then the travel agent, that building is currently being done up again and restored to a, let's say, a more conducive image of it. And the view down towards St Mary's Church from the car park. Of course, all the car park and here has just literally in the last week been reopened. It's been redesigned, and it looks so much smarter. You know, and we haven't lost any parking spaces whatsoever. So let me just put that one to bed straight away. It just makes the place look a more presentable and more inviting. And so it should. The view to where the old swimming baths live, Station Road, this is where that used to be, of course. We can see the back of the award-winning toilets. Yeah. And as you can see over in the background, where today the Crescent stands and the buildings of the cinema and the eateries, St Mary's Road today got gates across here in school time. There's Appleton House and all those buildings which were knocked down and cleared by about 2014 for all the for the Crescent to be built. But can you remember when it looked like this? The old Castle End Youth Club straight in front of you now. The old bus station that used to be here. We still have a bus station in this location, but it's been moved along a little bit. And of course, we will indeed see the car park area that used to be also part of the bus station, the old power plant to the factory that used to be there. And all this literally started just over 20 years ago. It's easy to forget the squash club that used to be there that got relocated down to Coventry Road. The back of 13 Amp, for example, the St John's Ambulance Hall, look, ATS Tyres, remember all that used to be down there. Ray Allen's, remember Ray Allen, yeah? And this is Waterloo Road with looking towards Rugby Road. Behind that was once Ray Motor Factors. Iceland, remember when Mum went to Iceland, yeah? And Quick Save, all this. Just over 20 years ago. There's Ray Allen's building, the white building in the background. Used to work there many years ago. And at the powerhouse for the back of the factory that was on Station Road, as we can see here. So when the Hinckley Times was in Brunel Road, Yes, and the TA. The TA still is in Brunel Road, but with a new building now, because this is where Brunel Road sort of finishes here, because it's all part of the Crescent development. But we can see, can you remember the higher place that used to be there? It's great to look and see how much has gone, and also hopefully how much the town has improved. It's so easy to forget. It's so easy to forget. Frank Taylor's garage, remember? This is at the side of the old TA hall in Brunel Road, and the Spiritualist Church on the left-hand side. Just coming into view in just a few moments' time. It did do any. There it is. That's well mean. There's the Spiritualist Church, the dentist, of course. Some of it's still there today. But see how much the town has changed. I can remember getting petrol from here many, many years ago. Can you remember pulling in there to get your petrol? Yeah. Of course, all this cleared away to the buildings we see today, which is the cinema, the restaurants and stuff, and the entry and a side entrance into the Crescent. Station Road on that side, look, on the right-hand side, has not changed that much. Likewise, the town side further on in as well. There's just more traffic about. I think they filmed this on a Sunday. This is the car park in Brunel Road. Of course, all this has been swallowed up into the Crescent, Sainsbury's and all that now. So you're looking at the back of the houses of Clarendon Road. And 13 Amps, second home in Brunel Road, which was built by Downs originally. It was one of their workshops in the town. The filling station that used to be on the corner of Brunel Road. Once again, all this is gone. All gone now. And James Bennett's. The Helter Skelter, remember that? Later to be the Waterloo Tavern, etc., etc. And the beginning of Waterloo Road. And Punctilio, the model shop. Can you remember that? Oh, we are going down memory lane this evening, aren't we? All this. Just 20 years ago. It does really make you think, and how cruel time can be. ATS tyres, they used to go there get your tyres done. You know, it was them and Britannia tyres back in the day that you'd go to in town. So all this, what you're looking at, is gone. Even the leisure centre in the background, gone. Before the days of Stockwell's, in new buildings, where the Palladium used to stand, Lawrence's supermarket, the self-service, unit sales and the indoor market, all before they were built. Them buildings have come along in our lifetime. Likewise here, Khan's Wine Bar on the left, which is currently had a new story put on it, and they are doing that up at the moment. The home of Hinckley District Pastor President Greyhound, you can see there on the right-hand side. This building here, Khan's, like I say, they've put another story on that. If you're going along, you'll see it. When it was the bike shop, Townsend Cycles, Ian Hughes, today it's one of these, like a posh kitchen fitment shop. And of course, being screwed. B&Q. There we go. Where, of course, Samuel Davis and Clinton Davis factories used to stand. Now look at this in Derby Road now. How different Derby Road is to our eyes from what it was when this was taken. Herbert Pratt's factory standing back there on the left-hand side. Tunnicliffe's still there today. Still doing well, but this was Herbert Pratt's. You can see there. Once again, all this has been cleared away, and new builds have gone on here as well. Now, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure this is down the back of Netherley Road. This is Flood's factory on Netherley Road, where once, of course, the Lido, or the Lido, whichever way you want to pronounce it, once was where Hinckley people would go swimming. It closed after the war. Well, it closed before the war, never reopened, and Flood's built their factory. And this is it being demolished and repurposed, because once again today more new builds have gone up here. but it just goes to show. I think the only thing original is those line of trees you can see in the background. Memories, memories, here on Hinckley District, past and present. Dennis Marklew, the late Dennis Marklew filmed all this for us. Look, the old Hinckley United Football Club, bottom of Middlefield Lane. How many of you went down to see the footy on a Saturday afternoon? Yeah. All this has been, redeveloped, and this is where the allotments are today. So they did keep some of the allotments, the council did. And my brother and his wife used to have one of the plots just about where we're looking now. Beyond that big shed there would be the Hinckley Perimeter Road. So a look back some 23 years ago, something like that. And I'm so pleased that Dennis filmed this because we can appreciate it today, because we have to record things today for the generation to come so they can see what changes have taken place. And this is just a small bit in our lifetime. Hinckley has really come on, and I don't care what anybody says. When they start knocking it, they obviously haven't travelled to an equivalent market town and see how they're doing. Because trust me, we're doing very, very well. Thank you very much. I'm more than happy living here in Hinckley. Oh, how'd you about that then? Good griff, I should have been on the radio. How are you doing with Six of Us? By the way, Mrs. Smuggley's popped in. Just say, hi, we're going out, goodbye. And anyway, she's at Butlins. And he's not took his book with him. His daughter didn't tell me that. Didn't tell me that today. Yeah, anyway, bless her. Good. Listen, people loving this programme tonight. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. We're going to do the 6 of the best questions. Then we're going to go for a nosy. But look at some of the... David S. says, this looks as I remember it. Well, Dave, it really has changed. And I know you come down to our social nights, which I always appreciate for you to come down, from top end at A5. I think it's, really good of you to come down. So I'm glad you can appreciate this. Daniel Coburn said, I remember when it was Texas. I remember when it was Texas. But can you remember back in the day, it was Texas and Dodge City? More memories for you. And on asking, does Frank Taylor still exist? Yeah, they do. The TMS. It's called TMS now. But I think they're down on the Tungsten estate, which is down by the marina, if I remember right. I will stand corrected, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Jan said, I used to work in Cairns at lunchtimes. Oh, you've got some stories to tell. You really, really have. And as you can see, Kath Dennis popped in to say hello, but she's off dancing again. And she danced the night away at the HDPP disco. Lovely. Anyway, thanks for your comment. Alan Kropp said, I enjoyed that. Thank you very much. Kevin Beasley, yes, says Hinckley United is still going strong as Hinckley AFC playing at another ground. Quite correct there, mate. Daniel said, I enjoyed that. And look, they're loving it. Which reminds me, I'll tell you earlier on, yesterday at our scanning session, we had a busy morning, but a lot of information coming through. Not so much, we did 1 or 2 scans. But one thing I was delighted to do was introduce Alexander Starnborough from the Starnboroughs to Alan Kropp. They are related back a bit, but they are related. And it was strange how Alan had come in to see us about Mr. Stretton Payne. And then a little bit later on, Alexander came in because we've been talking about Marjorie Payne and stuff, and we're trying to work out a family tree to see how it all links together. We are working on that, by the way. And I said, well, hang on a minute. I said, Alan Kropp's here. I said, he's just mentioned this name. And before you know what, I introduced them And I think that's brilliant. I wish somebody did that for my family tree, I tell you. So that was pretty fantastic. And Alan, we was doing a bit of researching last night, and all I could find so far, I found the medal card for Stretton Payne. I found that and his service number, but I guess you already know that. But if you need it, let me know. I'll send it to you. Right, okay. Yes, Alan Crop said, by the way, we have started a fundraising contest to contest. So we've started a fundraising to contest the will and get our rightful inheritance. Love it, mate. Love it. Right, okay. 6 of the best very, very quickly, and then into a nosy this evening. I'm trying to keep it moving. There's so much going on tonight. So here we go. Question 1. Who was the official last Lord of the Manor in Hinckley at the Manor House? Who was that? That's what we'd like to know for question 1. Question 2. This is a good one. I shall be impressed if you get this one. What links the Titanic, Abraham Lincoln, and the blaze of Notre Dame Cathedral? One thing links all those together. Trust me. Trust me. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is find the words, find the letters missing, and it'll give you the title of a much loved, much missed TV series that used to be on about 10 years ago, something like that. Loved it as well. Unusual for me to like that sort of thing, but I did. Guess the theme tune. There we go, yes. Oh, it's so nice. It's so easy. Yes. What was that the theme tune to? That's what we want to know, what the programme was. There we go. Okay. And then moving on. Can you name these two gentlemen? Used to be on the screens all the time, one time a day. When I was a kid, particularly the gentleman on the right was on a lot. And then in the 1970s and 80s, the gentleman on the left was very well known on the TV set. Well, have a think. And finally, last chance to get the anagram crack. I don't think anyone's cracked this yet. I think tonight's 6 of the best is a difficult one. Right. Aaron, contrabandist hypotheses. This is a local location and story. So it's a bit of a legend, a bit of a legend. Okay, it's documented. So that's what we're going. So, oh, come on, Paul, you're cooking on gas tonight. Okay, then, good. Right then, so it's time for a nosy now. Then we'll come back and give you your give the answers to 6 of the best. Thank you for chatting to Azra, by the way, who I know has enjoyed the programme so far this evening and whatnot. And a lot of people say, Dave B, by the way, said, last time I was on the Ashby Cut, Hinckley Marina did not exist. How things changed. Yeah, it's true. And sometimes we don't see it until it's brought to our attention. How long you had that there, So anyway, that's good. Kevin Beasley said, they're all difficult tonight. Oh, do I have to do a rollover? I can ask Mrs. G, shall I do a rollover? No, let's get off with our nosy now. And our nosy with Steve is talking about smugglers. Smugglers here on HDPP. Here's Mr. Nosy to tell you why.
Hello, hey up and how you diddling? My name is Steve and once again it's a great big warm welcome from myself to Let's Explore. I hope you're all well. Well, as you can see, I brought you to one of the prettiest fishing villages that I've quite possibly ever been to in my life, to be honest with you. This is Robin Hood's Bay, and there's a reason that we're here today, because if you look just over there, you can see something quite beautiful. Beautiful, he says. Well, that is indeed a culvert. But, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't any old culvert, This place, 250 to 300 years ago, was awash with smugglers. There was, honestly, it's an extraordinary story. Now, 250, 300 years ago, They put the import tax up quite high, which meant there was a trade there for people that wanted to be up to no good, basically, and actually bring, you know, alcohol, tobacco, tea, and all sorts from the North Sea. And they'd park the ship, well, you don't park a ship, do you? They'd anchor the large ships offshore here and come ashore on rowing boats in the middle of the night. And a lot of the time, what they'd do to get away from the law and those that were waiting for them and watching them, apparently, they'd sneak stuff up that culvert there. And we're going to go in there today and show you around this little village. Right, let's go and have a nosy. Alrighty then, so in this week's video we are indeed visiting the beautiful North York Moors National Park, and to be more specific, we're visiting one of the prettiest fishing villages on its spectacular eastern coast you're ever likely to come across, known as Robin Hood's Bay. Now where the arrow's pointing, that's the new part of Robin Hood's Bay. It's kind of a village in two halves, this is. And where the arrow's pointing now, that is the old part of Robin Hood's Bay. And let me tell you, it's absolutely spectacular, this place, so old worldly, it really is gorgeous. So when you take a walk around Robin Hood's Bay in 2024, you very quickly become immersed in the place. It's such a stunning little village, this is, but it's got a checkered history in terms of smuggling in the 18th century. Now I found a website earlier whilst doing a bit of research on the village, and there's a website called citizen.org.uk, and somebody called Hannah Thompson, hello Hannah if you're watching, has done a little write-up about Robin Hood's Bay. And she says here, smuggling, or so-called free trade of luxury goods, was a huge problem in 18th century society. In essence, smuggling was a way of obtaining luxury goods without paying heavy import taxes, which were imposed by the government after needing to reclaim vast amounts of money spent on wars with Europe. In a similar way to the black market of Second World War Britain, the illegal trading networks set up by smugglers were a way of getting your hands on goods which were otherwise unavailable to the everyday villager. Now, Robin Hood's Bay, what is fantastic about it from a smuggler's point of view, if you could anchor your ship offshore and row a few boats onto the sandy beaches in the middle of the night, Robin Hood's Bay, as you can see, it's like a rat run. It's like a labyrinth of small alleyways and roads right outside of these gorgeous old terraced houses. So there was an awful lot of activity going on in 18th century Robin Hood's Bay. It must have been a spectacle, and I'm not certain, I mean I don't know because I was never there, but maybe a little bit of this story with Robin Hood's Bay over the years has become romanticised a little, because you know what these people are like. They're like blood-sucking vipers. If they want the tax and them monies, they'll make sure there's enough geezers on every corner of that village to make sure that people are paying the dues and are going to be punished for it. Do you know what I'm saying? So maybe it's been a bit romanticised, but I can see a lot of truth in it as well, you know. But one of these rat runs, as we've already mentioned and spoken about, is this glorious old culvert where quite a lot of action used to take place apparently. Now whilst I was in the culvert, I come across another culvert which joins directly into the one we're exploring today. Now you can only get so far in this culvert. You could crawl all the way up, but you'd get muddy and wet. But the part we can get in, you'll notice there's some wooden beams, and there's also what look like wooden floorboards above my head. Now I wish I'd have known this when I was down there actually filming this. It wasn't until I got back and did some more research into this culvert and this smuggling story. But apparently where the floorboards are is where they actually used to pass goods up and down that they were trying to smuggle to get them up to street level. That is absolutely amazing. I wish I'd have known that at the time. Anyway, let's actually go and have a nosy at this culvert. Come on, you'll like this. Right then, the bit you've all been waiting for, and me for the last 4 or 5 years. So this then is known as the Smuggler's Cave. In reality, it's a culvert that takes the King's Beck through here and out into the North Sea. But we'll go in here. I'm looking forward to this one, let me tell you. Let's go and have a nosy. Do you know what? This may well be the oldest culvert I've ever been in. It's extraordinary. And what a great place for it as well. Look at that, amazing. Right, let's do it. I tell you what, I've been in a lot of culverts in my time, let me tell you, but this one has got the best view I've ever seen. But just down there, look, the end of my fingertip there, that is a manhole cover, which I thought was a bit odd. Then I came in here, and you've got this concrete ledge, look, and then beneath it, a clay pipe leading to a bit of a manhole and pipe work going up to street level. But we're not come here to look at that, Stephen, have we? Get up there, Stephen. Right, so this brook is actually flowing quite well today, known as the King's Beck, of course. And I find it extraordinary that 250, 300 years ago, people were coming through here, smuggling goods into this village and selling it on the black market. I find that absolutely incredible, to be honest with you. Now then, recording's one thing, but recording and walking through here when the surface isn't level at all is another thing altogether. But I tell you what, look at this stonework, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely amazing. I don't think I've ever seen stonework this big in a culvert before. It's extraordinary. It is so old. This, I mean, do you know what? I was looking up the history on this place, and I couldn't actually find an awful lot, to be honest with you, apart from the smuggling stories and what have you. But the culvert itself, it's got to be hundreds of years old. For me, this predates the 18th century. It's got to. Just look at it. Some of the buildings above it are extremely old, you know. So, that's interesting. We've got a bit of a side at it there. Now then, they've actually done some shoring up work in here in the past. Concrete, look, can you see that? So, just got to watch where I'm walking. Like I say, I've got my wellies on for a change, but there could be deep pockets here that I don't know about. This is amazing. I think this is one of the best I've ever been in. I'm not quite sure how long it is. Goes on quite a bit of a ways yet. Now, hey, this is a good one. Look at that. Wow. I tell you what. Hold on, just see where we're walking. So you've got another brook that comes into here, another beck. So quite clearly then at this point, hold it, right then. So can you remember earlier I said to you about wooden flooring above my head? Well, that's it right there. So that is indeed where we think they used to be passing goods up or down, or vice versa. That's amazing, isn't it? That really is incredible. And as I said earlier, I wish I'd have known that at the time. Right, let's proceed. We've got wood up there, so is that someone's house above us? Maybe not, it might be an outhouse. I'd have thought they'd have had something a bit more sturdy than that. Either that or someone's watching Good Morning Britain at the minute and they can hear my voice blow them in the living room. Who knows? Oh, look at this, man. Jesus. Jeez Louise. I mean, we're not going up there because that is proper low, but that is amazing. This is so old, folks. It's absolutely unbelievable. I'm in nosy heaven right now. What's going on? Look at this. What's that? Looks like a rat trap, doesn't it? Probably is. Who knows? Right, let's go back out here. Look at this. This is unbelievable. So old. So old. I tell you what, I've got no end of spider webs going across my face right now. I'm quite fortunate really when it comes to visiting these places that spiders don't bother me. I tell you what, it's fantastic to imagine, isn't it, that a couple of 100 years ago or over, there were people swashbuckling up and down this culvert here with goods to sell on the black market. It's a fantastic story, isn't it, you know? And now we're swashbuckling and gallivanting up and down here, but I mean, you know, I mean, look at this stonework here. It is so old. Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised one bit if this stonework was 16th century, going back that far. I wouldn't be surprised if it was even older than that. Now, when you look up Robin Hood's Bay, or we're near the end now, when you look up Robin Hood's Bay, you know, and the story of this culvert, what you really ever get is the smuggling stories. It doesn't really, I've not found anything yet, that might change when I'm editing the video, but it doesn't really tell you about any dates of when this was built. Wow, look at that. Wowzers, so there's the village above us. Amazing, what an extraordinary place this is. Something to tell us, isn't it, eh? Amazing. Absolute joy, that is. An absolute joy. Really easy to get into as well. Sometimes there can be a pain in the backside. But I just want to follow this beck, this King's Beck up here a little bit, just to see where it goes. This beck even comes with its own ladder, look. Fantastic. But it's like with this property here, you know, how deep must these foundations go down? These are so old, so old. Makes you wonder how they built it all, don't it? Unless this beck's been rerouted, you know, when they built it all, because it's like up there. Look at that wall there, with structures on top of it. It's almost like an old world place, this is, and they've built on top of it. It's amazing. Cobwebs everywhere, spider webs everywhere. Quite strong webs as well, they are. Right. It's going to bring us to what looks like a beautiful bridge. You can't quite make it out, you lot can't, on camera at the minute. Oh, shit, deep hole. And there you are. That ain't bad, is it? Very old. In fact, it's got a bit of a side at it down there. In fact, let's get over there. Very nice. Very nice, Mr. Toad. Right. Let's have a look. Again, I mean, look at that. That's old. That is actually, I can't quite see. I'd struggle to get up there. I ain't going to get wet. But it's actually tumbling down at the back. It's a beautiful little structure again. Wow. In fact, just about making out, look. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, that. As per usual, the mind is well and truly blown. That culvert's amazing. This bridge is beautiful as well. Beautiful old bridge. And the fact we've got that as well, what a great little bonus that is. Great little Brucey bonus, that. Right, well there you go then. What do you reckon to this then? Absolutely amazing. And it's so accessible as well. You have to watch your send when you're going in there. It's a bit slippy. But I can just picture the scene now. You know, ships anchored offshore, you know, blokes coming ashore on little rowboats. And can you imagine them? Can you imagine them with the crates of booze and what have you, getting off here and like, and running off towards that, thinking they can get away with it. And, you know, maybe sometimes the authorities got wise to this culvert. I really don't know, but extraordinary piece of history, it really is. But as you've seen in the footage, the village itself is worth a visit. It's the first time I've ever been here, and just to let you know, my lovely other half, Vanessa, is actually behind the camera, and bless her, she didn't fancy going up there, up the culvert. I thought to myself when we got here, when she sees that water running out of there, she's going to think, nope. And she even brought a Wellington. She's got more brain cells than I have. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share it. And I'll be seeing you very soon at the next one. Take care of yourselves. Adios. Bye-bye.
And there he was, gone. Steve, that was brilliant. Really, really enjoyed that one, actually. And I've seen that before, a little while ago now. I'm a big fan of Dan Cruikshank. He's often doing these programmes on BBC Four and stuff. And he goes exploring, but not like Steve does. But all the same, he did go up that tunnel. And he obviously got connected, well, because he was the BBC, I suppose. But they actually went into one of the houses that was above that beck. And they lifted I don't know whether it was the same when you filmed, mate, but I remember them looking on, you could see, I think, woohoo. But all that water, didn't it make you feel like you wanted, it sounded just like an Armitage Shanks, didn't it? Or a Thomas Crapper, didn't it? It really did. It was, blimey, that really just sat up, blimey. Poor Dangerous Den would be hanging on now, I bet you. He's got his legs crossed, poor old Den. All that water didn't have to make you feel possibly. Right, okay then. We're nearly at the end of the programme. Hooray, I hear you cry. But not before we've gone through, six of the best. Now, I am thinking, just before we start that, I don't think people have done very well with six of the best tonight. I'm beginning to think I'll be using some of these questions next week to tease you even more. If Kevin Beasley said the VAR, they must be hard. So listen, let's go to six of the best. I'm going to go through the questions and see if anybody can answer. Now, Dangerous Den, this is the time you can put your answer in, unless you want to be banged up in the little corner room, all right? So, even Jeff, now look, there's got to be something. Jeff Wallace said, I've done badly tonight. And for Jeff to say that, it must be, ooh. And Jan says, I think it was hard this week, Paul. Well, okay. Ooh, I'm in a quandary. I'll tell you what, we'll go through, let's see who can answer what, and we'll go from there. For those that can't answer it, maybe I'll just keep you hanging on because I like that. Oh, Carol says, no, you can't do a rollover. I'm in Devon next week. Now, if you're going to Devon, look out for the Boundary Hotel. The Boundary Hotel is quite secretive if you know where to find it. And if you do, they make you very, very welcome. Proper, real Devon cream teas. I mean, proper. And proper gravy and everything. It's brilliant. Really must book in very, very soon. Boundary Hotel, if you're watching, we haven't forgot. We'll be coming to you. There was something else I was going to say before I even started this. And I thought, I must say that, and I forgot what it is. However, let's get on with six of the best then. Here we go. Six of the best, and I'll put the chat on as well. So, okay then. So I was asking you this question. Who was the official last Lord of the Manor in Hinckley? Let's see if anybody got that first. Because Alan Crott's saying, no, zilch, note, nothing, zero, doesn't exit. Yeah, I know. So nobody seems to have got question number one. So who was the official last Lord of the Manor? And Dennis says, please, sir, I've forgotten. Oh, dear me. I'm really surprised. I thought some of these, I'm just going through my notes. I thought, they'll get this. Obviously not tonight. I'm just thinking through my notes and what's. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one then. I'll tell you what, I'll keep you hanging on that one, but I'm going to give the answer hopefully to the next one. How about that? I'm going to do a little bit of a trade-off for you here. Okay, so moving on. I've asked you, what links the Titanic, the death of Abraham Lincoln, and Notre Dame Blaze? What links it? Has anybody got an idea? Just before I will give you the answer to this. Jan Kirby, congratulations. Yeah, Jan, give yourself a big pat on the head. You've done well there. Jan Kirby, she said, April the 15th. Quite right. The Titanic sank on April the 15th. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated on the 15th. And the blaze of Notre Dame Cathedral was on the 15th of April. Different years, of course, but that is the link. Yeah. Oh, David Steinberg, it must be on a slow internet tonight. He just gave us the Thomas Sansom answer to question number one. So it was indeed Thomas Sanson Preston, or Preston Sanson. But David, I will give you that. You're quite right. But well done to Jan. As I say, 15th of April. Oh, David S is coming up with it now. Funny how they all start coming in with the answer after it's been given. I don't know. It must be slow internet. Jeff Wallace says April the 15th. Yeah. So that's a good question. And there's your answer to it then. So the Titanic sank on the 15th of April. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated on the 15th of April. And the blaze, that awful blaze of Notre Dame Cathedral, was also on the 15th of April. But so all different years. Yeah. So that's right. Okay. Moving on. This used to be on Sunday evenings. It used to be a great little programme. Has anybody got it? So if you fill in the letters, I'm going to ask Mrs. G, did you get it? She's shaking her head. Oh, right. I'll tell you what, I'll save that one for next week. We'll come back. I'll save that one for next week. So I've gave you the answers to 2 so far. It saves me having to find one for next week. Oh, no, Dennis has got it. Well done. Yes, Dennis, you're quite right. Lark Rise to Candleford. Quite right. Yeah, and Queen Bee's got it right. Quite Rise to Candleford. Lark Rise to Candleford. You're absolutely right. Well done. Yes, I can't roll that one over next week then because you're giving me the answers. Well done. Lark Rise to Candleford. Lovely little thing used to be. Yeah, so brilliant. Well done indeed. Okay, see, it's not as bad as you all think. Okay then, now we're going to go write the theme tune, guess the theme tune, sing the theme tune. What was this theme tune? David S, congratulations. David Allen has got it right as well. It was Owen MD. Well done, Anne Hunt, as well. Now, and this is called Sleepy Shores, but it was used as the theme for Owen MD, which was in the early 1970s I think it was a medical detective type thing, wasn't it? But anyway, so there you go. If you got that, well done. I'm going to have another stinker for you next week, okay? I can't afford the music anymore. I have to turn it off. Right. Well done. Answer, that's my only one tonight. Okay, so that was Guess the Theme Tune. Now, I am curious how many people are going to get these two gentlemen. These two gentlemen. Mrs. G's got one. Yes. Come on, you know this. Dennis. Yes. Well done. Magnus Pike and Richard Hearn. I'm just at Mrs. G go, oh, yes. There's this enormous thing, but this enormous. And Dr. Magnus Pike used to really emphasise himself by throwing his arms here, everywhere, but he was so enthusiastic. He was like Mr. Nosy on steroids at 80. So, yes, it was Dr. Magnus Pike and, of course, Richard Hearn, otherwise known as Mr. Pastry. And Mr. Pastry also used to do that waltz dance thing. I've seen it, and dancing with an invisible person. You must YouTube it, Mr. Pastry dancing. You look at that, how Richard Hearn does that is absolutely magnificent. A real artiste, which we don't have anymore. There you go. But well done. If you got, you can give yourselves half a point then if you got one of the two. But if you got them both, well done. Be smug. Be smug, because now maybe I can hold over. Maybe I can hold over on the anagram tonight. Let's see if anybody gets it. I don't think anyone's got this, so I will hold it till next week if no one gives me the answer tonight. So we'll just see. I'm just waiting to see if any answers come in. No ideas. So people are already throwing the scores in because they know they haven't got the anagram, I think. Kevin says it's my only one tonight. David Allen, only one for me tonight. Right. Alan Kropp, half a point then because we had Mr. Pastry. Yeah. That's okay, mate. Dennis Perkins, clueless. Half a point for Anya. No idea. 2 for me tonight. David Stambler, 2.5. Well done. Does Mr. Pastry count? Yes, you can have a half a point for Mr. Pastry because it's a full point if you got them both. Daniel Coburn, no, he's not even made the cut tonight. Well done to David S, 3 for him. Grussit said half I've had Mr. Pastry, yeah, and the other. Yeah, well, listen, it's all good fun, isn't it? This is just nonsense on a Sunday night. We love it. We love it. We really do. So well done. So I'll hold over the anagram for next week, but we have given out the answers to the rest. So there you go. That's one thing less for me to do next week as well, for sure. There was something I was going to tell you, just to remind you about the, social night on Wednesday night. Please come along. It's going to be a nice little gathering. That will be good. And, of course, our museum night coming up on the 10th of July, because we're not meeting that month, because we won't be here. You can meet if you want, but we won't be there. So if you want to come along to the museum, spend a night with your friends of HDPP. The idea of the night is actually... HDPP, we will pay for you to go along, okay, because there's a set fee for a group. But what I would ask you to do nicely is while you're there, make a donation, in the tin or in the tray, just to help them along, because they've got a big hill to climb trying to raise the finances for their extension. And it's going to be fund matched. So the more they can raise, get that bit raised, then of course they'll get the match funding. So if you come along on that night, like I say, we just need to know how many are coming. So you don't have to pay as such, but we'd like you to make a donation in the museum when you're there. I think that's fair. I think it's nice that we can say, come on, we'll do that for you. I think that's nice. Good. Anyway, David S. says, sorry, can't be with you Wednesday. Oh, what a shame. We're looking forward to catching up, David. Never mind. Okay. Kevin Beasley said, another great night. Become members. It's even better, Paul. It's only £15 a year. It's true. I'm a member. Hands up if you're a member. Yes. Good. Right. Good. Lovely. And Alex and David. Oh, yes. Oh, a message for Alex and David Starnborough, by the way. I have an old Bible belonging to Sarah Payne Puffer, and names on the back now make sense. You see, that was when I linked them together yesterday in St Mary's Church. How brilliant was that? Thank you very much for your time this evening. I've tried to whittle it through as quick as we can. Remember to visit Azra's channel as well. Fascinating stuff. She'll be releasing a video every couple of weeks, and you can follow her travels. And that girl from Hinckley doing all that, all on a Todd. Well, more power to the old elbow, as we say. Right, that's just about it from me. I say back next Sunday. We'll have the same anagram, but a new set of pictures, and Carol will be in Devon instead of being here with us. So if you can find any scandal something we can talk about, that'll be good, won't it? Great to see you. Looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday night as well. Until then, take care. Remember to keep it HDPP. Keep it live. Till then, take care. Ta-da. Oh, hello. This is a part of the programme we never talk about. Only those of you that know to hang around for a bit at the end, and we just have a bit of a laugh, bit of a giggle. And I got some little jokes for you tonight, and I think you're going to like them. That's been a great show, by the way. Really enjoyed that tonight. Fantastic people. All the things they're all saying, brilliant. Love it when it's like that. Some jokes for you now, just to send you off to bed with a little chortle. I've got one for Jeff Wallace. Jeff, if you're watching, air traffic control asks the pilot, "Who is this coming into land?" And the pilot decides to make a joke. "Guess who?" he replies. Air traffic control turns off the lighting to the runway and says, "Guess where?" Now, okay, right. Now, I want to do a few on job descriptions for you tonight. So, here's a job description for an accountant. Someone who knows the cost of everything and the value of nothing. true. An auditor, someone who arrives after the battle and bayonets all the wounded. That's true. That's true. Here's another one. Job description for a banker. The fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining and wants it back the minute it rains. Love it, love it. And this is very true. The job description for an economist, an expert who will know tomorrow why the things he predicted yesterday didn't happen today. They all wise after the event, aren't they? Yeah? Yeah. And finally, here's one I'm going to finish on tonight. How many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? Only one. But the bulb has to really want to change. Take care. I'll see you again soon. God bless. Bye-bye.